They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
must reign.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another edition, another stream, another podcast here on the Chaos Rain Show. I am Chaos Rain here, and today is more of a more deeper follow up to something that I discovered. As you know, I didn't cover it on the last stream, but I will cover it now today. But before I do, please, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Chaos Rain Show. And also follow me on my social media links. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. You could also join my Discord service. And what else? Join my Discord service. Oh, follow me on Rumble, CRain23 on Rumble. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. Membership always got perks. You know it. You know the deal. Now, as you see the thumbnail, Kevin Samuels versus Jay Amore. Do his words still haunt modern women? And that's a question mark. That it seemed to me it's holding weight to a lot of modern women today. I mean, if you look at the women that have that have not really aged gracefully, and I mean gracefully, I mean that in good faith, that either could find a mate or chose not to find a mate but still be on the carousel, there's consequence for not prioritizing mates in the short or long term of things. So what has happened, for those that don't know, right, is that a lot of modern women are really not getting a rude awakening, but they have now come to realization that really truly Kevin did warn them. And I know he's just one black man, but this one black man had the ability to define and dictate the reality of a lot of women today that want to live the path of I'll do what I want. And not they want to do what they want, but they also would like to at the end of the day be in some sense of control while still having what they call masculine approval, patriarchal approval, patriarchal subsidies, the provider, the protection. And really truly, that sounds good, but we live in a very imperfect world, and men always have not only the options if he could explore it or take the options, but also men nowadays, they want things simple, and this environment doesn't make it simple for a lot of modern men. So modern men are going to choose what's in the best interest, for those that don't know. And if y'all guys can recall from these images here that oh, what's good? Oh, what's good? Andre, love concert board. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. As you know, if you remember from my previous live stream, which I'll probably share now. Let me see. And let me do that right now. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel also, and share the stream too. Share is caring. And please, like. Likes go a long way. All right, I'm going to pull it up now. I was going to pull up on the other thing, but I said, no, this is better. Let me see. This is muted. Okay. And let me just do this. I'm going to fast forward this. All right, I found it. So let me share my screen. You guys might be familiar with this. Share screen. And this is off the previous stream. And let me see if you guys can see it. I'm looking at my end. And let me remove some links in the background. Kind of want. If you remember this, guys, and you recall this, right? And let me remove this because I don't want this to get distracted. Let me quit this. I'm gonna play this.
With men who are high value, who understand that the burden is on them to pay the cost to be the boss.
Right.
Now, the question is, if women want that kind of, they want those kind of options, what do men like that want from their women?
They want them to not be in debt, to be stable, be able to at least take care of themselves, right?
Nope. They want cooperation.
Be in debt, to be stable.
High value men value after the looks component, because attraction has to be there for men because we're visual. After that, cooperation. I'm president, you're vice president.
Okay.
I'm pilot, you're co-pilot. I say we go that way, you say okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I also feel like men should choose a woman that they respect and value her wisdom as well, so that he doesn't feel like there's maybe so much competition or feel like.
Now, mind you, that was the pushback at the time for those that don't know. I'm gonna let this run a little few, and I'm gonna shift gears to video of the present. Let's go. And this is off my channel, as y'all know, the fair use. So not a stranger.
She's talking and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because I do think, like you said, co-pilot, that's a partner. So I do believe men need to pick partners that are smarter. And I think that a lot of men just based off of how.
Now we need to be clear on now. I don't like the word partner. You're an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Pence does not ever try to usurp Donald Trump's authority. That's one thing. So partnership, if you listen to my content, I believe a woman should be feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. And that is a part of being feminine that only a woman or a father can do. Inspire a man to become greater than he normally would have been. That is part of being feminine. So there is a feminine wisdom that comes through there, but only when a woman is in her femininity can she really inspire a man. You can't inspire me by trying to say, run harder, push, climb. That's not your job. That's dad or coach.
There's a way, and like you said, inspiring, and there's a wisdom. And if a man can respect a woman's wisdom, then she can inspire him in the right way to build his empire beyond what he could have even done by himself.
You've said the word respect several times. Why is that important?
Because I do feel like a lot of men don't respect women's roles.
We're gonna stop there. Y'all gotta just go back to either the original of that channel, or you go back to the replay of my channel. But in her mind, in her mind, she feels that men today don't respect women's roles. And countless times, a lot of men have been always saying that a lot of women don't want to play their goddamn role. Now, in regards to the payments and the, men gonna do what they're gonna do, there's a certain set of criteria that a lot of human beings want not only established, but want satisfied to make this thing work. And one of the things that women know that what men want, and it's always simple, is food, silence, sex. That comes standard, but it's beyond that. How cooperative are you? How are you, times that, let's say the man come up with something, and you might bring your feminine intuition to it, in a way where it's not, to combat that he wants to listen. There's ways to get your message across, ladies. If I know Andre's in the chat room, he is a businessman now. he wrote 3 books now that's now on sale now. And the woman that's on his side, his wife, she plays a crucial role, but to what he's already on in his journey is to be the best as it be, and to present the world the wonders of why men, not just modern men, but men in general, should travel outside the world for better opportunity, but for better mates. And he explains it, the benefits, and why you need to do this, right? So that's what Andre presents to all of us, and his wife fully supports, and it's also an interested part in the business side to make sure things are going smooth. Hope I was right, Andre. They listen in the background. Hope I'm right. All right. So now, enough ranting. Let's turn to the present day now. As you know, that was her name is Janine Amore. She had a conversation with Mr. Samuels back in August 31st, 2020. Now we shift gears to the present day. Now, what has she been doing now since she was on part of the podcast? Well, she was on what we call Pop the Balloon. And here are snippets of it. Here we go. And let me see if I could turn that. All right, let's go. Now, a lot of people did not know this was her until she did it on her own social media. Now, I didn't know because I don't watch Pop the Balloon. Oh, wait, y'all guys go like this. Oh, let me wind it back. Y'all go like this. Let me wind it back. Yeah. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God! Wow!
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Janae Amore with 808 in Trinity. I'm 33.
And Janae, what do you do?
I'm a servant of the Lord. So I am a personal assistant. That is what I do right now, currently.
Now, mind you, when I remember this same consecrator a few years back, and some other consecrators, they cover this, and I think they cover her as well. She was never talking about this Christianity bullish, for lack of better words. Oh no, she was never talking about that. Oh no. She was like living across the world, amongst the world, doing what the hell most smart women do, have fun, screw around, may make some money, do more screw around. It's cool to a degree, but I find it odd, and this is just me. I find this odd, right? Did you really learn what Kevin has told you what to do to get the outcomes you think you deserve? Now, mind you, Kevin had been gone now for 3 years. When she was a part of his live stream, that was back in 2020. And we move forward, shift gears almost 4.5, going on 5 years in the end of August. What has she learned and grown? Has she changed her ways? Has she become a better woman? Or has she become someone that is right now serious to really say, I'm looking for a mate, I'm serious on it? So look at these highlights and you be the judge. Like always, fair use.
Nice. Yeah. And if you want to go ahead and just answer his question.
So what I've learned, I would say I haven't been in a relationship since I've been saved. So now that I'm saved, it's really the Lord who's changed how I have relationships now. So I would say that what I've learned from the Lord is patience, having the fruits of the Spirit, patience, communication, understanding, just allowing someone to just not making assumptions on what they mean, maybe asking them, what do you mean by that? And just having a heart posture that is good,
Now, it's simple. Just keep it simple. Now, the man that she is presenting what she is and who she are, what she does, this man's in his late 30s. And she's now approaching, she about to turn 34, so she's now going to be in her mid-30s by the end of this year, I can recall. So let's hear the man's response.
Thank you.
A few minutes later.
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Janae Amore with 808 in Trinity. I'm 33.
Okay. And Janae, why did you end up popping your balloon?
I ended up popping my balloon because a little on the older side for me. And
Long in the tooth, as they say.
for me, I'm not calling you old. You're just a little on the older
Yeah,
side
yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
It's fine. And yeah, I mean, kind of what she said with acting and all that. Like, it's cool. I'm glad that you're a professor. I appreciate your into you being smart. I like smart people, so that's
Really?
good. Yeah.
Now she's someone that's your type.
I ain't got no type, you know. Bad bitches is the only thing I like.
Oh, and the cussing.
Now I don't know why the cussing was an issue, in my opinion, because the dudes you dealt with in your life, even the one that you said on Kevin's podcast, that you were in a very much maybe I don't know if I want to say a long-term relationship, but a relationship nonetheless, that a man was playing in the NFL because you were 19 and he was said 21, right? Okay, that's a good start. That means this man achieved a very high degree of what we call mediocre success, because I'm not sure what type of football player you were in a relationship with. I will say that maybe he's still playing the NFL now, maybe he's not, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, if he's able to get drafted, he was making some pretty good money if he was drafted, especially drafted high in the NFL. For you to squabble it, to let that go for a reason. And I forgot why you let it go, but nonetheless, you're here now dating and looking for, I guess, a mate, allegedly. But let's listen more.
I think I said biddies, though.
Did you?
I said biddies.
Let's rewind the tapes.
Yeah, let's rewind the tapes. Let's do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
A few minutes later.
Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hi, I'm Janae Amore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33. And I ended up popping my balloon because age difference, just a little bit older, but like you're actually like my type.
Okay.
So, but you're
Okay,
just a little
cool.
older.
Yeah.
All right. Now she's someone that's your type.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
And what makes her your type? Let's get you talking a little bit.
I mean, I like her style, I like her look, and I like that the age range is great. I mean, 30.
Well, she looks more Europeanish, and I think I remember one time I would listen to a particular brother, and he said this woman is Latin. Last time I checked her background, she says she's from Trinidad. Her parents from Trinidad, and I think one might be from a Latin country. I could be wrong. I couldn't remember because this is like a year back, maybe 2 years, 3 years ago. The point is this: that I always go by hearing people out before I deal with the ethnicity, because nowadays you see a lot of women that could be potentially black that will be passing for white. But like I said, I have to really examine the person as a whole to really determine that. Well, let's listen more.
Is good, 10-year difference is great these days, with maturity and energy. So yeah,
15
correct.
years, but yeah.
all right, yeah.
I'm a math person.
That's
So
all
15.
good. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 minutes later.
All right. Your name and age.
Janae Amore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33.
Okay. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
So I popped it because you said divine feminine, and I'm more for like the fruits of the spirit. So I wasn't sure.
What do you mean define feminine? Then one time you up and pushing and preaching feminist rhetoric on Kevin, and you still have that way, that mannerism today? Are you serious? If you guys don't believe me, go back to the last live stream. She was pushing hella feminist rhetoric, etc., etc., etc. Even to the point now she might just shift, not her ideology, but shift how she does things by being more amongst the Lord, being more godly, going to church, reading Bible, going to Bible studies, all this crap, but you still move in a feminist mindset. I think Kevin did a show on this called Black Christian Feminists. And it surely does hold weight today that there's a lot of women today that are still, if they even go by the ideology of the Christian faith, are Black female feminists. Like literally. I don't know. One second. All right, let me keep going.
what you meant by define feminine. I mean, I could have asked, but
Yeah.
I was unsure about that. That sounded very like spiritual, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
for Christ.
okay, so I'm Christian too,
Okay.
but I mean, like in terms of energy, so like I'm very masculine. I'm in my masculine energy, and I need the polarity. So I need the feminine energy. So it's like the plus and the minus. And if you don't have
That's true.
that minus, then we just gonna be two magnets not working.
That's true. Yes. I mean, I agree. Can I ask questions? Like,
I mean, is he someone that's your type?
yeah, I think he's attractive, and I just have a lot more questions. I mean, like, how Christian are you?
Very Christian. Very Christian.
Like, what does that mean?
Man, I talk to God every day.
Now, I'm not sure why this man has to show and prove how Christian he could be. I mean, how much more information or data you need to really make a conscious decision why you pop your balloon? Well, the man will tell you, he said that I only go to church once a month, once every few months, once a year to convince you. That's how it work for a lot of you dudes that really convincing these chicks. And I mean, really convincing these chicks that you are the vote of faith, in my opinion. I wouldn't do it. That's me.
I do need to go to church, but you know, I believe in the Most High.
Okay.
Read my Bible, pray every day. So yeah,
Okay. Why don't you go to church?
Okay. Is this leading to you getting your balloon back? Is it leading to you getting your balloon back,
Yes,
or are
ma'am.
you
I mean,
just
yes, I'll get it back. Yeah.
okay, let's get the balloon back.
See all that, and you disqualify yourself because you didn't want to hear the dude out. This is some madness, man. I swear to God, man. This is why y'all ladies be losing for real, man. Y'all gotta do better. You gotta do better, please, sweeties. You gotta do better. Gotta do better. This is unacceptable. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll be back then.
A few minutes later.
Okay, we gotta dwindle them down, so I'm gonna have you pop two
okay.
whenever you're ready.
Start the pop.
Okay, one more.
See that? Did y'all see that? She disqualified herself. Now, why would you disqualify yourself if you here looking for a mate? He sound like he meets all the cards. I mean, allegedly. I'm not sure. You see, women are too picky nowadays. Very picky. Let's go listen.
Oh, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I just thought it was right. I don't know. I just remembered that. Are you 40?
I am.
I know. I just remember that you're a little bit older than what I prefer, but I was willing to hear you out and see. And yeah, there's not a lot. I think you're attractive and you have a good head on your shoulders.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, you did pop the balloon. You popped your balloon earlier because he's not a Christian, allegedly. Now you pop because of his age. Which one is it, modern woman, Miss Amore? It seems to me you're not really sure yourself. And it makes me question if these women that's on here, on the average, here looking for mates or just here to build their social media. I'm just saying, man. Looks to me it might be one or the other. One or the other. All right, let's go.
5 minutes later.
Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm Janae Amore. I'm 33, and I popped my balloon just because I just didn't have that initial attraction. If I'm gonna, I'm dating to marry, and if I'm going to marry someone, I have to want to be with him and only him for the rest of my life. So there's that, and I did go short, and I did abort, and
no.
I'm not gonna go back. So there's that.
Okay.
Yes.
Now she's someone that you would approach if you
She
saw
is
out.
absolutely gorgeous. I've got the confidence to approach whoever, and
Now it goes back again. It said, I won't date no short king. But you think you going to qualify for the tall kings? Unless you want to get, unless you want to be on the, what I like to call the, and you know what's coming, guys? Unless you want to be on the carousel. And trust me, you don't want to be on the carousel, ladies. Let's continue.
Approach, and I'm not afraid of rejection, and because I obviously can't leave here with each and every one of you. So, but you're absolutely gorgeous. Again, someone that loves church, someone that loves the Lord True Zion. Shout out.
I love that. I love your I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. keep
You
that
would
up.
be we would be going to church and praying together.
We can still go to church and pray.
Come on now.
I'm going tomorrow.
Come
so
on now.
let's
I'm
go.
from New York, so
I'm gonna find one out here.
No, you're not finding one. You out here playing games, baby. You're playing games. You already rushed your blessing with the dude that had locks that's taller. You disqualify him because he don't go to church. It's not his age, because the age was a factor. You are here. Listen, if you guys go back and watch the original of this video, not this one, but the video that she's a part of, every time when a new person comes in and introduces themselves, they talk about their profession, what they look for, and their age. They don't talk about their height and all that nonsense. They said, I'm this old, I do this for a living, etc. All that was given out, all that was clear. So literally, it's you. Let's go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh my God! Wow! Well, first I got to be physically attracted to her, of course. Somebody who's confident, has some type of fashion sense, ambitious, and just knows how to have fun.
Okay, and deal breakers?
Lazy, just always negative, mean, rude, and just somebody that's not pleasant to be around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So we did get
Look at that.
some pop balloons.
Look at that.
Let's go on over there,
Look at
see why
that.
they ended up popping.
Okay.
A few moments later.
Age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm Janae Amore. I'm 33, and I popped my balloon just because you're not really my physical type. I was like, I have a thing with noses, and I like a guy with kind of like a thin like bridge. I know that's like so extra, but I do. I just have this like a.
Sorry about that. And right here, this was telling. That right there was telling. That was telling. A thin bridge nose. The thing that comes to my mind when you ask about you want a particular look, you're asking for a more Eurocentric type. I'm not saying certain brothers don't carry certain Eurocentric features, but overall, when you talk about the nose proportion of things, that tells me you look for a man that's more whitish or more mixed, that has more European blood in them. That's the vibes I got off there. But let's hear this dude's response, if he likes her or not.
Attraction to like this like thin bridge. Yeah, I like noses. Yes.
All right. It's fine.
No, she's someone that's your type.
And she's pretty. I mean, I don't know if I would approach her, but she's good looking.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's move on.
See that rude remark? This is why she got no man. Or let me scratch it. She'll get a man. She'll get a simp, most like a black man that might be thirsty because she looks more whitish. But really truly keeping a man, nah, no man's gonna stay with that. Absolutely. That smart remark was really uncalled for. She shouldn't really did that. That was some dumb shit on her behalf.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus?
Could we have your name?
My name is Darnell.
And Darnell, how old are you?
I'm 47 years of age.
47, and what do you do?
I am an entrepreneur. I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, entertainer, and podcaster.
Okay. What do you like to do for fun?
That balloon.
I actually enjoy spending time with my friends, family. I like to draw. I like to laugh. I'm a foodie. I love to eat. I like to travel as well, and I like to just learn new things.
Okay. What do you look for in a woman?
I look for, at the end of the day, a virtuous woman. If I have to tell you what that means, then I just know you're not for me.
Okay. And deal breakers?
Deal breakers, being dismissive, not being open-minded, and a woman that doesn't have God in her life in any type of way.
Okay.
Okay, man, keep it simple. A little older on the side of thing, 47, maybe he's right pushing 48 coming new year. Who knows? Will he find some love on this pop balloon? I doubt it. But let's watch more.
Okay. All right, so we did get pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
A few moments later.
Even age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm Janae Amore. I'm 33, and I popped the balloon because, yeah, a little bit too old for me. I mean, what she said. I did know what she said, and it's like you're older and you have this like young guy swag, which is fine. It's fine, but it's like, yeah, leave it at that.
Okay.
Respect that. Yeah.
She's someone that's your type?
Yeah, she's beautiful. I just came in something comfortable. I'm probably gonna get that. I don't know a lot of 47. I don't know what a lot of people mentality think 47 look like now, but it's different, you know. It's not coming in the Easter outfit, you know what I'm saying, with keys out jangling, but I just put on what I felt comfortable with for the day, but I can put it on casual as well. I'm very versatile, but I just came comfortable today.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's the present day. My God, 4.5 years has flew by. Don't y'all agree? Nothing had really changed from the lady that was on Kevin's show back in 2020 to now. Still stubborn. Smart remarks. Nothing's changed. I mean, she looks the same by God. I mean, that's a good sign. Well, it's not really much because when she came on Kevin's show, she was like 28 going on 29. So she was already in the danger zone when she came on Kevin's show. But yeah. Now, what I'm about to do, and this one's for MTR. And I did not really stamp it because, matter of fact, I'll do that. One thing that was not known of, right? That people did not notice. And I don't think MTR know about this either. He could never put or figure out where he saw this chick from. And he should know better than anything else. He should know better than anything else that you had her on. Well, actually, you had her on. You had a conversation with this woman, if I remember. And I remember because I went and did some digging and I found certain content that you did not recognize. So I do it. I'll make it easy for you, my brother. This is what you cover on Miss Janae Moore. Fair use, fair use.
Yo, Smitty over the top reviews and reviews. Back in here with one more video. All right, guys, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. It's time to get active. Content creator today, Janae Amore with Amore Awareness. She entitles this video, Why Women Want High-Value Men But Date Jailbirds. Listen, before we get started, I have not reviewed this video yet, but I saw the title. It was sent to me on my Instagram, at Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Link down in the description box down below. You want to follow your boy and send me content. But when I saw the title, I said to myself, I have to see the content in this video. So without further ado.
Hello everyone, I am Janae Amore with.
Now, for people that did not know, the timetable when this came out, if my math suit me right, and I think, and I'm right, this part came out during the fall of 2022. I'm sorry, 2020, my fault. This is like a month or two after the conversation with Kevin Samuels. And if I'm right or wrong, I could probably date it for y'all and look it up again, but MTR should really notice and recognize this by the face and by her name. that you covered her a few years ago. And the conversation you had with Kevin about what she wants or who she looking for, why would a woman that's in her, unfortunately, late 20s would sit here do a video about regular men and Pookie and Ray Ray? And I remember the same video too because this was on her channel years ago, which is no longer in circulation. Ironically, imagine that. Well, let's hear MTR's commentary on this.
More awareness.
Oh, Janae.
And today I'm going to talk about why it seems as if women like jailbirds. But before I get started, please like, subscribe, and share, comment what you think as well. So I've heard women say all the best men are in prison. And it makes me wonder, what the hell is she talking about?
The first thing you should probably wonder is why do you have women around you with ideologies like that, that think like that?
Yes.
That should actually have been the first thing that you thought. But for the sake of the content, let's continue to listen.
How are all the best men in prison? How what is she saying, that like these guys who've committed crimes are like men? So men are considered what? Like you have to go to jail, like you have to be a bad person, do bad things? Like that doesn't make any sense. No, that doesn't make any sense. But when we consider the certain men that they're talking about, because they're not talking about murderers, hopefully. They're not talking about pedophiles. They're not talking about those type of men.
Baby, when we're talking about jailbird, you have to look at all types of men that's doing some form of life or some type of sentence while they're behind bars. And we got to move beyond what they said, that most crimes that most men are in jail are non-violent crimes. Most of the men are in there for a reason. And because they're in there for a reason, they have to serve their time to make themselves more productive and useful for society. And, now that I'm thinking about this, what other group of women, and she's not black, she's far more the Hispanic side or, the West Indian side, same thing, will sit there, have no problem with a man doing time in jail for low level ish things that really is a problem in society that is not deemed respectful. God knows they did some criminal and they're doing some serious time in jail for something more serious. But you're here talking about, you hope to God they're not doing pedophilic or other crimes that harm society. But that type of thinking is stupid and it's dangerous, because think about it. If you're a woman and you're sexually attracted to men that go behind bars, to me, and it's just me, is a sign of mental illness, for those that don't know. Make sure you guys like the stream, support the channel, super chat or cash app, either or. Please support the channel, like always. So let's continue on and hear this nonsense.
The men that they're talking about are usually drug dealers. And I know that it's bad, illegal. They should do the right thing, yes. But the thing that attracts these women to these men so much is that they have a provider mentality. They have a protect and provide mentality. And a lot of those men take care of their woman, take care of their mother, take care of the...
Do you see this bullshit? A provider mentality. You tell me you can't provide while doing what everybody else do, work as hard as you can, use not only your hands, your feet, but also your brain to be able to provide something. But to keep in mind, the criminal element is within enough people in the society. Hell, you think about America was how its creation was built and created by criminals. What I mean by this, you look at people that are non-black European descent. They were the criminals of their own society in Europe, right? And like anything, there was two things will happen: either you get banished or you had to pay your way. And one of those ways is you had to go outside your normal home and do the bidding of your forefathers. And this type of thinking, we keep in mind that the criminal element is how America still sustains itself today. Unfortunately. So me to find out that you see these men have a provider mentality and all this nonsense, that's thinking like a criminal. But anyway, let's keep going.
Women in their lives, and so they do that at any cost. And a lot of those men don't have access. They may be of a very low class where they don't have the network, they don't have the know-how, they don't have the education to do that. And of course, some people say, well, there's no excuse for that, but there kind of is, because when you don't grow up with certain access and certain resources, and you have a provider mentality, and you're not willing to just do what everybody else is doing around you, working at gas stations or being an employee somewhere. When you have
Yeah. So what is the message being put out here that you doing what you have to do, working an extra job, rather is low paying also, is better that than taking on the streets and doing criminal activity, for lack of better words. And it goes back again that to you men, this is the mindset of modern women that are feminists that say that you out here working for somebody or doing what you have to do, being someone of usefulness in society, is really not enough. You look down on. Matter of fact, you look at more as a form of scum than the scums that do harm in the society. Robbing, pillaging, taking innocence, like, taking the sexually. That is, to these ladies' eyes, looked at as masculine, something to respect. I call bullish. Let's keep going.
Sorry, guys. Oh shit. Guys, this is why I love to do videos like this, because it takes me out of, and I talk about this on the channel from time to time as well, it takes me out of my reality and then places it in other people's realities. As I said when we first started the stream, number one, first and foremost, if you have people in your circle that have this low-level thinking about the world, and sometimes it's not their fault, it's just the environments that they grew up in, and you have to consider, what are your goals in life? How are you attempting to attain your goals? One of the most important things that you have to understand is you will only be as dope as the people around you in your circle. You cannot be awesome if there are not awesome people around you. Why? Because they will continue to bring you down with their low-level logic, their low-level decision-making, and the black cloud that surrounds them. So I tell you guys, your network is your net worth. That's as cliche as what it is abundantly true. So if you have low-level decision-making type of people around you, what are you doing to remove yourself from that situation? Now, to go into the content of what she's actually talking about. So when she says, why are the best men in jail, which is a completely absurd.
No, it's not absurd, because she, like many Western women, are in their right state of mind. you're looked at as worthless. You're looked at as not useless. Hell, you look at as not even provider. If you take the straight and narrow path, you're looked at as a former piece of shit to their eyes. So no, she's in her right state of mind to really say that. And let you know that this woman, I think she went through a university. Yes, she got a degree. Probably something that's maybe can't use, but she nonetheless she is being productive because she says she is an entrepreneur. Now she's into the Christian platform, hustling these ladies, in the word of God, which is cool. I mean, I don't knock it, but yeah, you got. But anyway, that's their thinking. That's how they see you, modern men, especially modern men that works at 9 to 5. You don't have a provider mentality. You're not gonna provide enough for your family. Matter of fact, they'll look at you as what you doing? Why are you not taking risk? Why are you not swinging that paper or pushing that white powder? But yet, why are you not sticking up this person here that works at 9 to 5, mind you? Because where do you think these so-called low-level criminals get their money? They had to get from people that are working and being productive in society. Do you agree? Just saying. Oh, for those that's watching, if you guys want to come up and chime in under the channel, I'll drop the StreamYard link if you want to come up. Let me know in chat room. Let's go.
Completely absurd. Here's the thing. I have sympathy for those that grew up in lower socioeconomic class and standard that just don't know any better, or have not had experiences to see things outside of what it is that they do. And there's a lot of young dudes that even follow this channel that got caught up in the game early and then switched and made better of themselves and of their lives. But I have sympathy for those that are in it and didn't know anything else about it. They were raised without a father in their household and the game caught them early, okay? Just like the dating game of being a blue pill simp, yada, 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 caught a lot of us early, and we believed into the hype. And we believed in we're only determined as awesome as what we are until we can serve for a woman or put a woman up on a pedestal, and a woman will respect you because of that. It's the same thing. You can get caught up in whatever cultural, societal thinking that will get you caught up. However, let me just say this, is that I really start to question the direction of young people. And, this is just an anecdotal video, right? But I begin to start to question the direction when they begin to rationalize. And now I'm just talking about, because she separated out the murderers and the pedophiles and stuff like that to the drug dealers, but begin to start to rationalize.
No, but you're missing the point, MTR. She did not separate. She looked at all those men that's doing what they have to do to become providers. She totally will ignore that. Because think about this. Why would someone that, let's say most people today are educated, why would the first thing that come out their fucking mouths, they will say, you know what? These people that are the low levels of society, the ones that are enemies, the lowest of scum, the criminals, why would any person that has common sense will sit and say that these people are providers? They are the epitome of very sharing, of taking care of a woman. Let that sink in. Let that really sink in. Let's go.
Why it makes sense that women like those types of dudes. And I get it to a degree, because women want the most alpha that they can qualify for. And if all you see in
wrong, most women say, modern women, that don't know who the hell's alpha or beta. And what I mean by this, they don't know who's alpha and beta, and people could question me on this, is because they open their legs to anything that makes their ooh, 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 ooh. They're not thinking of saying, before I pull down my panties, and give this man some nookie. I wonder if this dude's an alpha. Matter of fact, he looks like he's more beta. Because to them, they go by their feelings and even go as far as the attraction. Now, a lot of people could say they've been maybe socially engineered to be attracted to the so-called thug or what they call so-called alleged alpha amongst the group, but really truly, they don't know. They go by what they feel, nothing more, nothing less. And normally, what they see or what they feel in their mind, they will consider that alpha. Well, if they don't attract you or they just don't want nothing to do with you, they'll consider you beta. Beta. All right, let's go.
In that area in the hood is the drug dealers being the most alpha, then I can get the point, but therein lies the damage of a failed community. And that's just what it is. But let's move on and let's see if there's anything else that we can learn here today.
Have a entrepreneurial businessman leadership mentality, but you don't have any access to anything but the basic mundane, like $8 an hour jobs, and probably even less back then, versus drugs. When you see that the people that have the most money in your community are drug dealers and you have a business mind, you're going to do things at all costs. And women can see potential, and women are very attracted to a provider and a man who's a go-getter and a man who's a doer and it takes care of business and handles things. And those men usually do, but the problem is it's illegal. And so they go to prison, and then the women are like, oh, you know, the good men are in prison. Like all these guys who are just, and you know, I can already hear you guys like, oh, so I'm just nothing because I'm just out here doing the right thing. Like, no, that's not what it is. It's just that it's just that guys who tend to just be average are just, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's boring. Like average, just mundane, and it's not like, I don't mean average like, oh, you are an employee, because any employee that's not always average. But if you're willing to just be a cashier and then try to move your way up.
Let me just comment on.
Very good. Excellent. Now, let's keep in mind, you know, if you look for excitement, baby, my question, why you didn't stay with that football player that's making millions of dollars? Were you fucking sucking these so-called drug dealers? Because from an archetype, from what I'm seeing, I would expect a little better. But you know, nowadays I could be fooled nowadays because now modern women, their standards are pretty high to the men that, let's be honest, don't like, and the men that's doing what they're supposed to do. Their standards will be high in that, but they lower their fucking standards for the dudes that they talk about are the problem. And I mean problem ones that maybe, you know, doing what she said they're doing. Hell, maybe saying some things, maybe lying to him, which they don't mind lying. This is the right person got lied to him. Let's keep it real. Maybe cheat. We're really, truly, they don't mind the cheating, unfortunately. I mean, if you're a dude that they don't like, then yeah, it's a problem. But if they're sexual attracted to that, they will get in the feelings, but they're gonna do what they need to so he stays around. So really, there's no really thin line to how far the madness and insanity when you hear these women open mouths and talk. And let's know, saying your life is so chaotic, it makes sense why 4.5 years later you're on Popular Bloom. Now you could probably be on that show just to build your numbers up, which mostly is, and build a new clientele by, you know, putting yourself out there, you know, put on the right makeup and, you know, have your outfit on and present yourself. So some fool that is a lost person that is trying to seek a woman or whatever, they'll come across your content and think that you'll might give them a time of day, but you're going to spread and push Bible verses to their head to make them go insane. Like Bible verses like Psalms or Leviticus or all these other scriptures to get them in to reel men back to Christianity. I mean, the joke of it all is just crazy. But yeah, it makes sense why, you know, your life is the way it is now. And even God can't save this. Let's go.
The things that she's saying,
God can't save this.
I said something before, and let me try to expound, is that I think this is the result of a failed culture, of a failed community. This is the result of entitlement. This is the result of short-term versus considering long-term. A lot of these different things that are stamped into your mind as a young boy and or girl, usually done exquisitely well by a sound father, right? By a sound, incredibly sound and full of effort father. So when I see this proliferated throughout the community to the degree of what it is, rationalizing irrespective of the idea that drug dealers or you know, those that partake in illegal activities, which I can also combat that as well. Like, if anything, the good guys is the ones who stay out of prison and provide for it. Listen, I don't have the data and the statistics of it, but I would say domestic violence cases is way higher amongst drug dealers than someone working $8 an hour at CVS or something like that. I would say it's much higher, but I think that.
But you see, you missed the point, MTR. It is somewhat higher, but modern women, they love that shit. They thrive on the toxicity of certain men that sit there and bust them inside the head. They love it because they are what is considered alpha male. I'm going to open the lines in a second. Be patient. Let me go through this. All right. Let's go. Fairies.
When you have a community of women, and this is not all women, this is just the ones that can sympathize with her position. When you have a community of women that believe in this, and you know, they're looking at the music videos and all these things that have appropriated our culture and don't push what doing shit black people are actually doing, you know, which is also why I have this channel as well, is to push that you can be intellectual as a black person, to get your ideas out there, to create businesses, to build things with your hands and not partake in all the shit that has been deemed illegal and has broken up families and participated in shit that will destroy families, overdosing. I mean, like, all of these different things. And the thing is what I'm battling and struggling with here is that at the point that you realize that someone is involved in an activity that destroys families, is illegal, then you should not even be considering them as a good guy at all. I mean, it's completely laughable logic, but it's not laughable because it's real. It's actually a real thing. And I don't know of it existing to the degree of what it does as within the black community. It's a sad, sad thing to see. Let's move on, though.
It's sad, but here's the reality. This is our society, this is our community, where, you know, you'll have women, you know, they justify the effort about, you know, the men that's doing, you know, the bad things and saying they're providing meals and they're, you know, they're cool and all this nonsense because they want the chaos in their life, for people don't know. And you as man, you have to bring the order, and they're not really in the business of seeing you restore order personally. Anyhow.
And then you're also like, but girl, you got to work too. And we're going 50-50. And I need this and all these demands, like, versus a guy who's like, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I want to get your nails done. I want to get your hair done. I want to do this. I want to do that for you. Come on. Actually, I'm about to go get it right now. Here, how much money do you need? Bam, bam, bam. I got you, girl. You this. Like, that's so attractive.
But see, here's the thing is that I think what she's talking about, it can be done whether or not you are a drug dealer or whether or not you make a lot of legal money, right? Like, or a decent amount of legal money. I would argue to you, Janae, that there is no correlation between legal activities and illegal activities and being a provider and not being a provider.
It's so attractive. It just is. And Why wouldn't a woman want that? That's why a lot of women are saying, man, the men, it's not that they did something illegal, it's their mentality, and it's their provider, and it's their go-getter, and it's their strong, and their, so they just have that masculine thing, not this like, I'll just do what? I'll just go by the rules. And
let me pause right here, guys. I can't go any much longer in this video because it is completely and utterly exhausting. Here,
as more as I saying it. This is what they are today. You're dealing with this type of women today, gentlemen. And because of this mindset and this thinking, the way how you're expressing this, it lets know saying, yeah, your body count has been very substantially very high, unfortunately. And not only high, it's high with certain type of archetype of men. We know what rattles your tank. Unfortunately, but like I said, life moves on. Let me keep running.
Here's the last thing that I'm gonna touch on right here. Aside from involving yourself with people with this, kind of low level degree of thinking about Earth and the world, this is what can happen a lot of times if you are young. If you're a woman, young, pretty, and you want shit now, you can get involved with more fast money, moving and shaking type dudes that even if they don't talk about it, is involved in some shady activities. But at the same time, you're also putting yourself up to a lot of risk within that because he lives a certain type of life. I've done a video not too long ago, maybe I'll link it down in the description box down below, where a content creator was going out on the street and was asking young black women, would you prefer a doctor that made $600,000 a year or a drug dealer that made like 60 million a year or something like that, or 6 million a day or something crazy like that? And to see the amount that chose the drug dealer for that, for the $6 million per year, was mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling to watch and to listen to how they rationaled involving themselves in that type of activity. This is what happens when you are young, pretty, you can get involved in the fast life. But here's what's going to happen is that those dudes will never wife you up, ever. They will not wife you up, no matter how much you think that they good dudes that they are. And in fact, the matter is you were probably not the only one. So what happens is that years go by and then you start to hit your mid-ish 30s and then no one will wife you up. And the dudes that you left way back yonder, who you didn't even consider as one of your good dudes that was doing some legal ish, that now has built his life up to a respectable manner, right? It's not going to be looking at you. No way. Not to mention, besides the wall happening, but the chance of kids happening.
Oh, you mean like looking? So you're saying that these ladies, MTR, can't do the reach back? I mean, they can't reach and go back to men, black men in general, Western men in general. They can't do that no more. They go have their fun, riding, sucking, and effing these criminals, the Pookie, the Ray Ray, or the JJ. And now once they're done and they said, I'm done with you, I don't want to do with you, and they find themselves alone, they just come crawling back to Western modern men. All right.
In that equation as well. So continue to think like that, but I'm letting you know, and there's a whole generation of of those that look like me above me that proves exactly what I am saying. Guys, again, I can't go over the entire video, but I'll leave a link to it down in the description box down below. As I say on this channel all the time, this is for education and research purposes. Do not go over there and send any.
No, it's too late. Because you know what she did for you, MTR, my good brother? After you made that response to her views about drug dealers being providers and, all that, this is how she welcomes, repays you, my brother.
Value men, but date jailbirds. Listen, before we get started, I have not reviewed this video yet, but I saw the title was sent to me on my Instagram at Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Link down in the description box down below. You want to follow your boy and send me content. But when I saw the title, I said to myself, I have to see the content in this video. So without further ado,
Hello, everyone. I am Janae Amore with Amore Awareness.
Oh, I'm cute.
Why it seems as if women like jailbirds. But before I get started, please like, subscribe, and share. Comment what you think.
Subscribe, baby.
Well, I've heard women say all the best men are in prison, and
Yes,
it
baby.
makes you wonder, what the hell is she talking about?
the first thing you should probably wonder is, why do you have women around you with ideologies like that, that think like that? That should actually have been the first thing that you thought. But for the sake of the content, let's continue to listen.
I don't have any women around me. First of all, I'm talking about what you guys talk about all the time. Why do women like hood dudes? Why do women like thugs? Why do they go after these Ray Rays and Tyrones and stuff? I'm explaining to you guys why. That's all. That's all I'm doing is explaining why. I did not say my friends like hood dudes and jailbirds. Never came out of my mouth. So to just assume that I'm around these type of women is a really terrible assumption.
Not really, because first thing, for regardless of the sake of conversation, this is for content purpose and content purpose only. Something like this would not be a thought, or even something that be even rationalized why they would do some things. Even yourself, if you were never alleged participant in these thug life with these so-called hooligans, and you have friends that's around. And let's keep it real. Let's stop the cap. We all know we have some people around circles got those type of Pookie and Ray Rays either in their family or just enjoy Pookie and Ray Rays in that they have slept with. So we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But we can't go there if we want. But let's keep real. You doing this video is already questionable, much less red flag in nature. That, you know, it's like me doing videos saying why I would choose what we call ghetto chicks and why they're so much better than regular chicks. Now you might find some dudes might talk about women in a certain way, but they keep it honest to the point saying we deal with them because of this, that, third, and in no regards, we are not wifing them up. Unlike the video you had, which you took down, unfortunately, and we'll never know. And really, you really reveal yourself when you do these type of content. People don't understand. This is why I'm always cautious with certain videos I do on my channel. To the best of my ability. To the best of my ability. If I do something, I have to explain why I do it. And have the balls to keep it up. Not take down, remove, or whatever. If I done it, I stand on it. It's just like when you hit that like button. Anything that you will say or do is always going to be present to the world for the world to consume. So if you're not comfortable doing it, do not hit that like button. Much less you hit that record button and you upload to the world. Because now people are going to look at you and judge you, and now judge the character in the context of how you move and who you really mess around with. That's what most men are going to view you as. So let's go.
How what is she saying, that like these guys who've committed crimes are like men? So men are considered what? Like you have to go to jail, like you have to be a bad person, do bad things? Like that doesn't make any sense. No, that doesn't make any sense. But when we consider the certain men that they're talking about, because they're not talking about murderers, hopefully. They're not talking about pedophiles. They're not talking about those type of men. The men that they're talking about are usually drug dealers. And I know that it's bad, illegal. They should do the right thing. Yes.
He's already making a face. Like this is just
That
shows like
attacks
he's
these
already making
women
assumptions in
is
his
their
head about
challenge.
me without
Because they have
listening.
a provider mentality.
Listen,
They have a protect
listen very well.
and provide mentality. And a lot of those men take care of their woman, take care of their mother, take care of the women in their lives. And so they do that at any cost. And a lot of those men don't have access. They may
What's he
be
shocked about?
of a very low class.
Now let's talk about the mother. Most black, actually most men, depending if they're black or whatever, they has to go resort take care of the mother if their mother's single mother. Unfortunately, this sounds messed up, but that's a failure on your mother. Personally, to put that harsh demand on the son to provide and to do all this stuff for her, it lets you know it's not a winning strategy. Actually, it's a failing strategy because now you force your son to do things that's out of his norm and nature to make him a better man in society. And let's be honest, to secure his future, because you're supposed to pour into your boys, prepare them, where resource you have, you put into them so they could be the best person possible to be functioning and useful for society. And because you're selfish and wherever you and the baby father had and all stuff, that you're not still in cahoots or into this type of union or relationship that you established with him when you decided to have his kid. Now you put pressure on your own seed to really be something more than he should be. Instead of grooming and nurturing him so he becomes a beautiful flower. And I'm using terminology like flower because when you water it and nurture it, it becomes something beautiful to see. Because you bring out the full potential. You're not doing that with a single mother that's selfish and doesn't really want to put anything into their child, but want them to go out there and not only bust their backs, but also take risky situations that can get him locked up or deleted.
Where they don't have the network, they don't have the know-how, they don't have the education.
Y'all see this man's face?
Do that. And of course, some people say, well, there's no excuse for that. But
he already offended.
Kind of is. Because when you don't grow up with certain access and certain resources, and you have a provider mentality and you're not willing to just do what everybody else is doing around you, working at gas stations or being an employee somewhere, when you have
sorry guys, oh shit.
What's the problem, sir?
Guys, this is why I love to do videos like this, because it takes me.
Writing's not that easy. His ad. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all. Like already offended. You see his face? Just offended for no reason.
And I talk about this on the channel from time to time as well. It takes me out of my reality and then places it in other people's realities. As I said, when we first started the stream, number one, first and foremost, if you have people in your circle that have this low-level thinking about the world, and sometimes it's not their fault, it's just the environments that they grew up in, and you have to consider, what are your goals in life? How are you attempting to attain your goals?
Wait, it's the what?
The most important things that you have to understand is
environment they grew up in,
people as the people around you in your circle. You cannot be awesome if there are not awesome people around you. Why? Because they will continue to bring you down with their low-level logic, their low-level decision making, and the black cloud that surrounds them. So I tell you guys, your network is your net worth. You know, that's as cliche as what it is abundantly true. So if you have low-level decision-making type of people around you, what are you doing to remove yourself from that situation? Now, to go into the content of what she's actually talking about. So when she says, why are the best men in jail, which is
I didn't say that. No.
Now she's gonna say that that's not what she said, but let's keep it real. If this is not something that's the best, that what you said, this video should never existed. But then again, the video was taken down because you got in the backlash, not the attention, but the backlash that you felt you did not deserve. Because most people especially men that has some form of common sense, don't buy that bullshit. Matter of fact, they will look at you side eye and say, "Oh, if that's what you view regular men, and you view these dudes that's already taking planetary risk, what that says about you as a woman." Just saying. Just saying. Oh, guys, make sure you like the stream. If you guys not come up in the next few minutes, I'm just gonna close out. All right, let's go.
No, 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 no. Don't put words in my mouth. I never asked. I never said, why are the best men in jail? They're all in jail. None of the good men are out here. And it's just so hard to find a man because all the best men are in jail. And I'm just having such a hard time. I never said that. That never came out of my mouth. I never said, I just love dating jailbirds. I just love men who are like in and out of prison. They're the best men. And like, they're the ones that I want to have babies with. Like, that never came out of my mouth. I actually said, what I said was, this is what women say. That's what I said. I never, ever, ever, ever said, I never asked, why are the best men in jail? These are words being placed into my mouth and assumptions being made per usual by these men in the manosphere, per usual. So we're gonna go back to this.
It was completely absurd.
It
Here's
is
the thing.
absurd.
I have sympathy for those that grew up in lower socioeconomic class and standard that just don't know any better, or have not had experiences to see things outside of what it is.
Wait. Is he really about to say the same thing that I'm saying? Like, he's really about to say the same thing. He said he feels for people who come from low economic backgrounds. And that's exactly what I'm saying is some people, men and women, come from low economic backgrounds where they do not have the access and the resources. And a lot of these men in jail are in jail from selling weed. It might be they might be, moving some big pounds, but a lot of them are in jail for weed, which is legal in a lot of states. So how is it fair? How is that fair to act like these men are just like horrible people?
I'm gonna bring somebody up because now she's making nonsense. Weed is legal, but here's the caveat. Because it's legal, that means that they're not gonna get caught up. You forgot what system we live in? Most people that don't get caught up have a dispensary store for all that. You selling them nickel bags on the street, you might have problems. All right, I'm gonna bring up Casey. You hear me? Is this Mr. Terrence? You there?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
What's up, brother?
I'm good. How much of the content you've been listening or observing so far?
All of it, man.
Okay.
I'll follow you. I get down with you.
All right. What do you want to add on to this from what you hearing from this lady here and the brother that was breaking down her views about, the best men are in jail portion of the stream?
She lying her ass off, talking about she didn't say that. Okay, I'm gonna ask you? Didn't she say that drug dealers are the best providers?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is a man's primary job?
Protect, provide.
Thank you. Did she not say that regular job working guys are boring?
Yep. And not only that, they look at as to add on lowest of the lowest, the scums.
Right.
They're not providers. They're not even providers.
Right. Yeah. She's idiotic, neurotic. Now she's psychotic. And that's how black females are. See, the nature of a female is chaotic. God made their nature that way. Because chaos, it's just like nuclear power. Nuclear power at all times has to be what? Harnessed. You see?
Correct.
And see, a female cannot pick a mate. God didn't give the female any ability to pick a mate. God never intended a female to pick a mate. A female picking a mate is like a male trying to give birth to a baby out of his penis. It's impossible. Nature didn't give a female the ability to pick a mate. God saved that job for who? Her father. And that's why you see craziness coming out of her. That's why you see craziness coming out of these females. That's why we got a 90% divorce rate nowadays. That's why we had Kevin Samuels. That's why they hate Kevin Samuels. You see, a female always chooses a mate based on him reminding her of her father. And since these fathers have done what to their daughters? They have abandoned them. So on a subconscious level, females are looking for a guy that's going to do what? Abandon them. You see? See, a father has to pick a female's mate because he knows value. He knows the value of everything in life. Females don't know the value of anything. They don't even know the value of the kids that they push out from between their legs. All they know how to do is just nurture them. See, and females are like moss. And what does moss do? Moss attaches itself to a good tree or a bad tree. Moss doesn't know the difference between trees, and trees are symbolic, metaphorical, and metaphysical for men. And see, this is the reason why. Everything I just said is the reason why Muslims cover up their females. They cover them up and keep them in the damn house. Why? So they don't act like this crazy female here. And get on the internet. I was gonna say national TV, but the damn internet's bigger than national TV.
Yeah.
So the female doesn't get on national TV like her and tell all these lies and get caught in these lies and hypocrisy. And okay, 80% of the black kids are fathered by 15% of the guys. That 15% are the drug dealers, criminals, gangsters, pants sagging, dick grabbing, no job having penitentiary dudes. And what taught them this? They were taught this with crack cocaine of the 80s. Before crack cocaine, females loved regular guys that worked regular jobs, that wore regular clothes, that drove regular cars.
Yeah.
When crack hit,
That changed the game.
That totally opposite. Females fell in love with the shiny cars, the shiny rims, the shiny pockets, the shiny cars, and the shiny jewelry. Oh, he got to be a millionaire. Now you got these 300-pound females on these dating shows sitting there talking about how they want a high value man. The guy got to make $500,000 a year, and she got 6 kids by 10 different dudes sitting there saying this is what she needs and demands and must have and all this insane talk.
Yeah. One thing I do want to add, there was a video done by KG, right? And she had a woman up there, and she had like one kid, I think, and she was in her late 30s, and she said that she was looking for a man to make more than her and make her a wife and make her stay home, or he should be able to share his money, and in return she don't give him nothing, not even a baby.
Right. This is black people only have one problem. People think black people have an economic problem, a social problem, political problem, side of town problem. They ain't got none of them problems. Black people got one problem. It's called fatherlessness. And again, fathers teach value. They know the value of everything. Females do not know the value of nothing. So she gets up there and say, and what she's saying, she just repeating what her and her stupid ass girlfriend's been talking about and looking at on Facebook and watching crap, shitty ass rap music videos where the boys are just throwing these piles of money, and they in these Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces and Ferraris, and females think that's what they need, and that's the necessity of life. But that female you're talking about wanting a man to take care of her, no, your vagina's already your vagina's already used up. You done already. It's been busted out, wore out, and tore out by a baby. A baby busts out and wear out and tear out y'all vagina. Y'all don't realize that. A man supposed to have the virginity. We're conquerors, and we want to conquer the vagina. God made us like that. But when you have a kid, that means somebody already conquered it.
Okay.
As soon as a female have a kid, she's old. Even if she's 14, she's old.
Oh wow, that's some more for me.
The only person she's young to is who? The first baby daddy. That's why you gotta stay together. Because the first baby daddy is the only one that's gonna see her as young because he conquered it. It's you can see 94. The proof of what I'm saying, you can sit down and watch him interview 95-year-old couples, and that man, what would that man tell you? He ain't got no teeth in his mouth, and he's sitting up there telling you, I remember the first time I saw her when she was 9 years old, and I fell in love with her then, and that was 100 years ago.
All right, let me keep playing this video. Let me keep going. Very serious.
When they're doing things that I get it, it's illegal, but it's freaking marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really as it's not as I already established. We're not talking about pedophiles and rapists and people like that and murderers. Like, we're talking about people who are really trying to hustle and make a living, and they all believe marijuana was not a bad thing.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
According to her, drug dealers don't do any murdering?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, they murdering the whole community. What the hell is she talking about? See how crazy she is?
I mean,
what are you talking about?
Hey, you know it's funny because you mentioned that, and she's talking about they just sell little nickel bags. Let me tell you something. A person that is in the drug game, right? If we want to go right, they have the most dangerous of all so-called jobs.
Thank you.
It's not only secure, but also you can get pinched at any time. And we're going beyond if people been out in the streets. Hell, television shows reveal the life of a person that's about that life.
It's
not a nice way of living. But you see, if you're only thinking that because what he could do for you, that's why you look at a lot of women, young girls that become women or mothers, whoever, that push their sons, whoever, that when they let their children, especially the boys, be out in that world, right? They're taking chances that have no investment return. And not only no investment return, but what happens at this type of taking those type of risks will lead to either imprisonment or death.
Exactly. Like they said in New Jack City. The drug dealer stops. 3 things happen to drug dealers. They stop themselves, go to prison, or die. So she's sitting up here trying to tell the whole world that those machine guns and Glocks and 9mm that these drug dealers have, they don't never, ever, ever, ever use them. Come on, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's baffling me. All right, let's keep going. And guys, support channel, man. Super chat or cash app, $sign. What do you call it? Cash 8 Rain. All right, let's go.
Right? And now look, it's legal in how many states? And still trying to become legal. So we can't sit here and be like, oh, all people in jail are bad people, because that's not the case. And that's what I'm trying to say in my video is that that's not always the case. Sometimes like these men that are like, I want to make it at all costs. And even though I come from a low economic background, even though I don't have the network and the resources, and my family wasn't in these high-end positions, and they don't have any network and resources to put me in, and they don't even know how to do anything, and they've had how many kids in the hood. I mean, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is, these people are trying. They're trying to be providers. They're trying to hustle. They're trying to make money. They want to provide for their woman and their mom and their family, and they're doing it by all means necessary. And honestly, like, I'm not mad about it. I'm just not.
Is that they do, and there's a lot of young dudes that even follow this channel that got caught up in the game early and then switched and made better of themselves and of their lives. But I have sympathy.
Oh, so you have sympathy for them, y'all. And he's really gonna go in on me. I just don't understand. I don't understand, because it's like, why you're saying exactly what I'm saying. Like, so it's cool because like these people, they can always take their money, wash it up, and do some legal stuff. So like to sit here and try to act like all men who do illegal activity are bad people and like women shouldn't date them. It's not true. Like, y'all really gotta chill. Y'all really gotta chill. What are y'all saying over here? You guys are saying crazy things. Let's see. The leaders in the dope game never go to. What are you saying? What are you saying over here? A dope charge equals a follower. The leaders in dope game never go to prison. If they do get arrested, they post bond and go.
Make sure you guys leave a comment at the end of this video. I'm gonna wind us down. But yeah, I'm just saying some weirdo nonsense stuff that, a lot of us, we're not going to relate, especially if you come from look like she came from a stable background. Oh, Jay Shine, if you dare, brother, the links in the chat room, come up, brother. I need you to come up. You're from New York, man. Jay Shine right this. The woman is morally bankrupt. She is a primal female, yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Go home the same day. Okay, but just because you post bond and go home doesn't mean that you don't get when you go to court, you don't get sentenced. That just means you go home until you go to court. And just because you didn't get caught doesn't make you better if you still did the same thing, because a lot of you guys have been out here selling drugs on the side too. You guys just didn't get caught. So to act like the people who got caught are worse than you, pretty hypocritical to me. But let's listen to him validate everything I just said.
Before you validate and whatever you said, let's keep it real. Just because a person didn't get caught doesn't make it right. This is some type of pseudo weirdo nonsense I'm hearing from this lady's mouth.
Right.
That's like me saying that's like me going out in the world, right? And let's say if I went and did something bad, right? And I didn't get caught, right? Right? I didn't get caught, right? Doesn't make it seem what I did was right. But I took a chance because I want to do it. Most people that's doing these acts, they do it because they want to do it.
Exactly.
It's not that they have no choice, because there's always choice in life. It's what you decide your choices are. And the people that choose that type of life, they get the shit end of the stick. Simple. All right, let's keep going. AJ Shine, the call link is in the bottom. Please, take the link Jay Sean, why don't you come up? All right, let's go.
You know what she's doing? She's rationalizing and justifying her opening her legs to these drug dealing thugs.
I mean, you're not telling me that.
She's trying to convince herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you're not telling me that. We all know that. You know. And that's her business. But let's keep it real, man. But see, there's a consequence when a lot of ladies today are on the carousel, like, and this is what I mean by carousel. My carousel. There's consequence to that. You're out there looking for the next frill, the next release, and it's like a drug, an addiction drug to a lot of these ladies. And you know, the problem with this drug that there's no actual cure unless you need to keep drowning in that type of situation. All right, let's go.
For those that are in it and didn't know anything else about it, they were raised without a father in their household, and the game caught them early. Okay, just like the dating game of being a blue pill simp, yada yada yada, caught a lot of us early, and we believed into the hype. We believed in we're only determined as awesome as what we are until we can serve for a woman or put a woman up on a pedestal, and a woman will respect you because of that. It's the same thing. You can get caught up in whatever cultural, societal thinking that will get you caught up. However, let me just say this, is that I really start to question the direction of young people. And, you know, this is just an anecdotal video, right? But I begin to start to question the direction when they begin to rationalize. And now I'm just talking about, because she separated out the murderers and the pedophiles and stuff like that to the drug dealers, but begin to start to rationalize why it makes sense that women like those types of dudes. And I get it to a degree, because women want the most alpha that they can qualify for. And if all you see in that area in the hood is the drug dealers being the most alpha, then I can get the point, but therein lies the damage of a failed community. And that's just what it is. But let's move on and let's see if there's anything else that we
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Have a entrepreneurial businessman leadership mentality, but you don't have any access to anything but the basic mundane, like $8 an hour jobs, and probably even less back then, versus drugs. When you see that the people that have the most money in your community are drug dealers, and you have a business mind, you're going to do things at all costs. And women can see potential, and women are very attracted to a provider and a man who's a go-getter and a man who's a doer and it takes care of business and handles things. And those men usually do, but the problem is it's illegal. And so they go to prison, and then the women are like, oh, you know, the good men are in prison, like all these guys who are just, and you know, I can already hear you guys like
bitching.
Like, oh, so I'm just nothing because I'm just doing the right thing. Like,
Didn't she just not say good men are in prison?
Yeah.
And
Let's go. Let's be. I'm be fair. Just be reasonable. The purpose of she doing this video is she says she explained why regular women love and choose jailbird men or men that like to take penitentiary risks and go to jail, for lack of better words. You get me?
Yep.
She's giving the logic and want a regular man to not use his thinking, his rational thinking, his common sense to really hear modern women like her why these slaves pick these type of men.
Right. But in the other video, she said she never said that they were good men. And another thing, she just got through saying how and mediocre tutorial just said, oh, those drug dealer, thug, criminal gangsters are showing alpha trait. That's not alpha. That is drug dealing and crime is the weakest, most bitchified thing that a dude can do. It means you've given up on morality, character, and righteousness. There's nothing more bitchified than that. That's why they trigger pullers. See, we used to fight it out and box it out, but now they drive by. Yeah, they drive by in a car and run by and shoot up innocent people like a little bitch instead of dealing man to man, hand to hand. We used to deal hand to hand, man to man. But these dudes, these criminal drug dealer thugs, is the most bitchified beta that a low life scumbag that a dude could be. Cowards.
And it said them black women are participating in that. Yeah, we know. All right, let's keep going.
No, that's not what it is.
Oh, if you want to come up, Jay, the link's in the chat room. I'm only going to be around here for like another 15 minutes. So guys gotta come out now. Let's go.
It's just that.
Why does his face look like that?
Guys who tend to just be average are just, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's boring. Like average is mundane, and it's not like, I don't mean average like, oh, you are an employee, because any employee that's not always average. But if you're willing to just be a cashier and then try to move your way up.
Let me just comment on the things that she's saying. I said something before, and let me try to expound, is that I think this is the result of a failed culture, of a failed community. This is the result of entitlement. This is the result of short-term versus considering long-term. A lot of these different things that are stamped into your mind as a young boy and or girl, usually done exquisitely well by a sound father, right? By a sound, incredibly sound and full of effort father. So when I see this proliferated throughout the community to the degree of what it is, rationalizing bad, irrespective of the idea that drug dealers or you know, those that partake in illegal activities, which I can also combat that as well. Like, if anything, the good guys is the ones who stay out of prison and provide for it. And listen, I don't have the data and the statistics of it, but I would say domestic violence cases is way higher amongst drug dealers than someone working $8 an hour at CVS or something like that. I would say it's much higher, but I think that we have
You're
a
just making
community
that
of
up.
women,
That's not
and
true at
this
all.
is not all women. This is just the ones that can.
Did y'all hear that bullshit? What? All I was not hearing anything. Do you guys heard that? So that's not just, she's denying that. It tells you about the morality of a lot of modern women. Let's keep going. And wait, what he wrote. And J. Locke said, they don't drive by, we know about that. All right, let's keep going.
Sympathize with her position. When you have a community of women that believe in this, and you know, they're looking at the music videos and all these things that have appropriated our culture and don't push what doing shit black people are actually doing, you know, which is also why I have this channel as well, is to push that you can be intellectual as a black person, to get your ideas out there, to create businesses, to build things with your hands and not partake in all the shit that has been deemed illegal and has broken up families and participated in shit that will destroy families. Overdosing. I mean, like all of these different things.
There's no marijuana overdose, for
the
sure.
thing is what I'm battling and struggling with here is that at the point that you realize that someone is involved in an activity that destroys families, is
Marijuana
illegal,
does destroy families.
then you should not even be considering them as a good guy at all. I mean, it's completely laughable logic, but it's not laughable because it's real. It's actually
real.
a real
That's why I'm
thing.
speaking on it,
And I
'cause
don't
it's
know
real.
of it existing to the degree of what it does as within the black community. It's a sad thing to see.
Sad.
Let's move on though.
Hold on a second. Wait, let me make a comment about that because I agree. Oh wait, hold on. Wrong button. I agree with him. I completely agree that this is our community, and because of statistically speaking and our historically speaking and all these things, that's why Black men don't have as many resources. And so Black women have had to be understanding towards Black men, and to sit here and bash women for being understanding to a man's circumstance and situation based on where we've been placed in our community historically. It's just it's counterproductive, because yes, we do need to raise our men up to make money in legal ways, in ways that are better, because there has to be a pipeline. First of all, a lot of people, I'm very well connected in business and things like that, and when it comes to that, it's always all about who you know and who knows you. And a lot of the men I know that have good jobs, that are getting paid six-figure salaries, they either had family members that worked somewhere up high in corporate that told them, you have to go to this college, get this degree, and you will come out with this job guaranteed because I have the connection for you. Now, if somebody does not grow up he grew up in an upper middle class. I went to school with him, in high school with him. He grew up upper middle class. So when people grow up in a lower position, in a lower class, and they don't have access to those kind of resources, what do you think is going to happen? The men are going to be drug dealers. And it doesn't have to be freaking meth and heroin. I don't know how much meth and heroin is going around the Black community. You guys can tell me that if it's really meth and heroin, but I really think it's just like marijuana and maybe crack. Like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not in it, but I do know that a lot of drug dealers I know are marijuana drug dealers. And I mean, they friends of mine. So I don't have any problem with marijuana. I love it. I believe in it wholeheartedly. I did a 12-page research essay on it in college. I'm all for it. So honestly, I feel like everybody who's in prison for marijuana needs to get out anyways. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think they just maybe need to pay some taxes, because that's all the government wants. Pay some taxes and get the Black men out of freaking jail for some stupid petty marijuana. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And so do the women that are dating those men. They find it absolutely ridiculous too. That's why they supported these men in doing this. And that's why they stood by them, because these men, when they did make their money, it wasn't just about them making money. It was about what they did for the woman in their life when they did make the money. It's about them taking care of her. It's about them going to make sure that she's pampered and she's pretty and she's well done, because it costs money to get our nails done, boo. A lot of money. Hair, nails, products, makeup, clothes. Just upkeep is expensive as a woman. It's expensive. I go get a facial, every 2 weeks. It's expensive.
I know.
It's absolutely expensive being a woman. And for a man to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to take that, that cost out of your hands. I'm going to make sure I pay for that. I'm going to pay your bills. I'm going to do this and that. If there's a man who comes and is like, I want to provide. I'm taking care of my mom.
The strange thing about all this is talking about what the guy could do for you. And that's the problem. That is the problem. That's why you ladies don't mind those dudes that take the penitentiary risk, selling the weed or whatever type of illicit drug, And like I said, the background, this woman is, Miss Amore is an island girl. I would say it makes sense that your parents are from the islands, either from Trinidad or Barbados, where I can remember last time a few years ago. And it makes sense you defend the weed. I mean, I'm not a proponent. I don't defend that shit personally. I'm not a smoker, but people that do it, that's their business. But overall, I'm not going to glorify or promote it personally. So I don't know where she's getting at with that. But let her finish, and I'm going to end this.
Doing this and that. That's a hustler. That's a businessman. That is a hustler. That is a businessman. Even though he is not doing it the way that should be done, it's like he's doing it. And then when he takes that money and tries to clean it up and wash it, what's the problem? Y'all don't care. That's the thing. Like, a lot of these businessmen these successful multimillionaires, there's a lot of them that started off doing some illegal stuff. That's why people doing white collar crimes. White collar crimes. They don't have to damage families to do crimes. They can do white collar crimes. They could be cashing fraudulent checks, credit card scams. I mean, there's a lot of other things besides ruining families. There's just a lot of other illegal activity that doesn't really affect families and people like that. There's just so to be so narrow-minded and act like women are just going after these horrible men who just want to like sell fucking crack and meth and heroin to our community. That's untrue. That's false. That's false information. Any woman I know, any woman I've come across that's maybe I've talked to that's dated some kind of drug dealer, it's always marijuana. Like,
that's a drug deal, baby. As much as you want to sweep it under the rug, he's a drug dealer, baby. He's a pusher, baby. He pushed that weed, baby. I said, baby, push that. Matter of fact, he gave it a nickel back. I said, baby, hold this nickel bond for me. And you said, okay.
I don't know what the big deal is. And I really truly think that a lot of guys are intimidated by these men, what they call Tyrones and Ray Rays, because these men usually have a lot more charisma, a lot more swagger. They carry themselves strongly. They have a very strong character. They're very alpha males. And I think that a lot of men are intimidated. So they talk down on them because those men are getting chosen over them. And so it's just really an emotional response. And I honestly think that it's pretty sad that that's where our men are right now. It's just this emotional reaction. And I mean, it's showing it right now because like he literally agreed with me with that some people grow up in bad economic places and that some of them start off like that and then end up cleaning up.
All right, enough of that. You're babbling, baby, now. And I don't want to hear no bad. I'm already past my time. I don't there's only so much I could listen to. And really, you're not proving no point. Only thing is that it makes sense why you did that video and people checked you on that. They told you about it and you took it down because of the backlash. And content creators like MTR that said to show the ills of your ways, even the insanity of defending it, speaks for itself. For you to do a reaction to that. No black man today. I don't give a fuck what economic situation is. It is a middle class, lower class, or even upper class. It's going to condone and advocate and push message rhetoric that it's okay to push any form of criminal activities, including pushing drug behavior. You're never going to see it. Now, he might talk about y'all hoes and all that stuff, but on that, he's not going to push anything that's going to cause more harm to the community. That's the last thing he'll do. See, unlike the ladies here, Terrence, or any men that's listening to the voice of my mouth, is that we like to deal with some form of order in our lives. One way, another.
Yep.
We do not advocate and push alternate negative messages that will hurt black men or any future young black men that's coming up as a whole.
Yep.
Now, when we talk about women, it's all in good faith and honesty. And it's something that you ladies could do just to shape it up. You might not be the one that a man's talking about, but if you didn't fall under those parameters that they talk about, you ladies, you Western women, then this does not apply to you. But you get too much in your feelings. You get too emotional. You're getting triggered by what you view as alpha and beta and what is provider and what's not. Your whole logic is flawed, sweetie. And that's why the brother went and broke down. And it shows a reflection of overall your life. Because God forsake, you were on Kevin's stream back in 2020. Then a few months later, you did this content about drug dealers or best providers, and because he could pay for your nails and your washing your face, whatever you want to do, exquisite or on your pamper care. That tells me you're supposed to take care of that. I mean, if you're a functioning woman, that should be standard. Last my check. Now I expect you to spend money on yourself where you have to make it look pretty appealing, but that's something that should be an upkeep. Hey, you don't want us to sit there look bummy if someone's are and not by necessity to keep our upkeep. You should do the same as a woman. If a man has to provide for your upkeep, that tells you, your priorities are low, and that means you're not doing anything constructive with your life, much as doing anything constructive with your own money.
Yep. But the sad part about it is most 95% of black females and up think exactly the same as this chick does.
Yeah, unfortunately, and those ones that have so-called education,
right,
allegedly.
And that's why we don't have a community, and we don't have no black community anymore. Blacks aren't a people anymore. The black females do this. They say they're strong, independent, don't need no man. If you don't need no man, that means what do you need? You need a thug, or you need another female, and that's destroying the black community and the black house and the black marriage. And then they wonder. They have all these different kids by different ninjas, and then they wonder why their kids is shooting each other. And they shooting each other because of the choices they think like this female, and the choices that they made to open their legs and open their coochie lips to the drug dealers, Pookie, Tyrone, Ray Ray, Mousky, Killer, Trigger, Nook Nook, and Mac Mac.
Mm-hmm.
They think that shit is cool, and it's killed the black. It's deleted the black community.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, Mr. Terrence, I'm gonna call this a day.
Yes, sir.
Any last words?
No, we covered it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
As
you.
always, support the channel. Be on the lookout, like always, guys. I'm supposed to have a special guest. Hopefully, if everything plays out, it might be around this week or so. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like always. Thank you, Terrence, for coming up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And to everybody, thank y'all. Oh, one last thing I will play. I'll play this in regards to Miss Amore. That like I said, a good brother said best, because I did not know, because like I said, I look at skin tone and I look at backgrounds, but I don't really know who's who. But my good brother said best than anything else. So let me play this.
Especially Latin bitches.
All right. So
they go for black men. They don't treat them like shit. Trust me when I tell you.
All right. Oh, what I'm doing. Oh, I did something wrong. Let me do this again. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see how to work this. Oh. To my good friend, Mr. Nathaniel.
Latin woman see me, she say, "Do you date Latin women?" She gotta ask, because she say, "You don't look like the type that does." I said, "No, I normally don't." And now I'm attracted to them. They love that. That's how women work. Stop telling them your type, dummy. Say, "No, she's not my type." That's it. And she say, "Why not?" No, I'm not in the. She reminds me of the woman. I just was here. I just was at the light at Phoenix at the red light, and some.
Oh, one other thing, guys. Make sure you leave a comment at the end of the stream. I'm gonna look for reading your comments.
It's Latin, nigga. You ain't no black woman. I don't care. Somebody said the other day, "Oh yeah, yo, she's half German." No, she's not. She's Latin. This bitch is lying. She's like a lot of these Latin. Jen, remember Jen from what's that other chick that used to be on YouTube? Jen, I forgot her name. Jen something. She was Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? She loved black culture. This chick is not. This is not no black mixed woman. This bitch is Latin. Trust me when I tell you she is.
So, really? That's good. Yeah.
And I agree with my brother. Unfortunately, I didn't really see it, but I from that Pop the Blue show and other things, I would believe he is actually right. Nathaniel is very much on point. Respect the brother, and support the brother. He's on B University, like everything else. Oh yeah, okay, all right, that's cool. We'll talk Jay Shine what I'm saying? Hit me up on Discord, Jason. I probably want to have you back on because I know you have some knowledge and expertise you want to, bless us here on the Chaos Rain Show. So please do, Jason. All right, guys. I'd like to thank everybody for watching today's stream. Please leave a comment at the end of this video. Also, follow my social media links below. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. You can join my Discord service. You can follow me on Rumble, CRain23 on Rumble. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. Membership has perks. 1 or 2 videos are on membership now, so become a member now to watch it. And that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching today's stream. Until next time, let the chaos reign.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with you.
Chaos.
Let that chaos reign with you.
Chaos.
Let that chaos reign with you.
Must reign.